tu programa, aquí con Rosmarie Sánchez, que te espera una hora espectacular. Así que quédate en casa, posiciona tu vida en grande porque ese eres tú. Hablando entre mujeres, para todas las edades, para todos los géneros, y aquí emprendemos siempre tu vida. Disfruta este momento que es tuyo. Hablando entre mujeres, todos los días, miércoles a las 7 de la noche con Rosmarie Sánchez.
Llegó el certamen más esperado de nuestra comunidad. ¿Quieres ser la próxima Miss Canadá Latina 2022? Represéntanos internacionalmente en el Miss América Latina del mundo. Esta es tu oportunidad. ¡Inscríbete ya! Buscamos una belleza que al hablar no pierda su encanto. Una producción de Canada Latina Pageants, presentado por Breakthrough Rose Production and America's Top Model and Talent Academy.
Buenas noches, aquí como siempre, Rosmarie Sánchez en tu programa Hablando entre Mujeres. Hoy agradeciendo a nuestra casa de producción, Frequency 5 FM, con también Breakthrough Rose Productions y nuestros aliados al Día Media, Impacto FM Stereo y Universus Radios. Como siempre ustedes saben, el programa Hablando entre Mujeres es un programa interactivo donde disfrutamos diferentes personalidades, personas de la industria de la belleza, por supuesto, de la literatura, oradores, presentadores, mentores de vidas, coaches. Pero hoy tenemos algo muy especial. Vamos a empezar a hablar de Canada Latina Pageants, un show, un evento que se dio el día septiembre 16 de este año. Una gala donde disfrutamos diferentes personas, más de 400 personas se vistieron de lujo con un certamen de belleza que lo dio todo. Mujeres bellísimas, por supuesto, todas nuestras personas que estuvieron dentro del evento como sponsors, jurados, también todas las personas que apoyaron de la comunidad latina de Toronto, Canadá, lo hicieron posible. So today we're going to have a different show. This show will be in both languages, Spanish and English. And I would love to thank to every person possible who's been here and who's listening to the show, that you can share the show to all your friends. Perhaps our allies who give us the opportunity to spread the word of this amazing show, Talking Among Women and Hablando entre Mujeres. So, hoy vamos a estar entre ambas lenguas y me encantaría darle la oportunidad a una mujer maravillosa que va a estar aquí con nosotros presente de Toronto, Canadá, y quien fue sponsor, co-sponsor de nuestro certamen, Canada Latina Pageants. Pero antes de eso, vamos a dar la oportunidad. Breakthrough Rose Production, aquí la producción tiene algo para mostrarles. Vamos a mostrar qué es Canada Latina Pageants. Pero quiero que te quedes aquí en casa. We're going to show you what is Canada Latina Pageants, how the show was done, and perhaps all that we had done through the time. This year, we have this amazing organization held that gala at the September 16th in the Anna Philippe Halls, or perhaps with all the ladies who participated in the amazing event. So let's go, please. Vámonos producción con ese video. Vamos a dar el comienzo de este gran show.
Welcome to the Anna Phillips Banquet Hall, where we will present this great event to be held today, Miss Canada Latina 2002 and Miss Universal Team Canada 2002-2023.
Bienvenidos sean a la Napilis Banquet Hall, presentando este magno evento a celebrarse el día de hoy, el Miss Canada Latina 2022 y el Miss Universal Team Canada 2022-2023.
In simultaneous transmission for all Central, South America and the Caribbean in conjunction with our allied media.
En transmisión simultánea para todo Centro, Sudamérica y el Caribe, en conjunto con nuestros medios aliados.
Event organized by Canada Latina Pageants.
Evento organizado por Canada Latina Pageants.
Canada Latina Pageant was created with the purpose of uniting in one massive event, Latin American Women in Canada. Our pageants promote the sisterhood between Latin American nations and as well the encouragement of the intellectual, cultural, and professional improvement of the delegates.
Canada Latina Pageants fue creado con el propósito de unir en un evento masivo a las mujeres latinoamericanas en Canadá. Nuestros certámenes promueven la hermandad entre las naciones latinoamericanas, así como el fomento de la superación intelectual, cultural y profesional de las delegadas.
The goals and ideas of the participants remain to date, highlighting the values of Latina, perhaps Canadian women, and their development effort through education, as well as contributing, collaborating with local charities.
Los objetivos e ideas de los participantes se mantienen hasta la fecha, destacando los valores de las mujeres latinas y canadienses y sus esfuerzos de desarrollo a través de la educación, así como también contribuyendo con organizaciones benéficas locales. Agradecimiento especial a nuestros medios aliados. KBDTO.com, Poder Latino, New Media and Broadcasting, Shane's Promotion, Frequency 5, Radio and Television, Al Día Media, el medio que une a los latinos. Ondas 91.9 y 100.7 FM. Qué buena radio.tv. Buenísima. Urbana TV FM. Un evento producido por America's Top Model and Talent Academy en conjunto con Breakthrough Rose Production. Sponsor Oro. Elite Cosmetic Clinic. Tony Reyes. Magic Vision Photography. Sponsor Plata. Green Home Financial Solution. Mauricio Jiménez, Real Estate Sales Representative. Sagas de Éxito y Universidad de Éxito. KH Luxury Boutique. Cool Fashion Boutique. Sponsor Bronce. Clasificados Latinos. APB Reno. Río Bar and Grill. Lula Lounge. Skin Lab. Luis Briceño. Almi Designs. Lola's Latin Food. Mini Bravos Divas. Bravos Dance Company. Bravos Divas. Sassy Makeup by Natalia Alarcón. Quechua, Zuli Ríos. Blissful Beauty Spa. Mariana Santos, and Associated Immigration Corp. Guiahispana.ca. Sandra Cárdenas Photography. Skin Beauty. Enhance Room. Babylon Decor. Cosmos Couture. Models in Motion by JT. Tam Brûlé. DNG Diamonds Media Group. ASC Automotive Sales.
Your outer beauty will capture the eyes, but your inner beauty will win the heart. Stephen Hitchison.
Bienvenidos a este magno evento.
Welcome to this great event.
Bueno. Qué bonito ha sido ver todo este evento, parte de lo que se hizo. ¿Por qué nace Canada Latina Pageants? So thank you so much for being here today. We're going to have our amazing gold sponsor, the amazing Rosa Heshmari. And I'm going to give you some information in details of who she is and let you know why she participated in our Canada Latina Pageants event. The organization is very, very happy to be sponsored of this amazing representation of the beauty, Elite Cosmetic Clinic. And we're going to talk to her today, and we're going to bring her here so you can meet her. You can know who she is. Well, just to let you know, she's a registered nurse, graduated from York University with honors. She has been working as an international trainer for aesthetic procedures and developed her cosmetic clientele in the Greater Toronto area ever since. She's the founder of Elite Cosmetic Clinic. She has worked in the industry as an advanced aesthetic nurse, injector, educator, and trainer in multiple aesthetics institutes and schools. She's passionate about educating her patients, perhaps fellow nurses, on the latest cutting-edge techniques to optimize natural results of all patients. Her first and thirst for education had led her to spread her own academy. Yes, an academy. Wow, that's amazing. Elite Academy of Medical Aesthetics. To train other physicians and nurses in the industry of the advanced ingestion techniques and better knowledge of facial anatomy. She has acquired a worldwide knowledge for the beauty. So Rosa is a recognized leading instructor, cosmetic injector in the medical aesthetics field. I would love to present Rosa today here. Please, let's welcome Rosa.
Hello.
Hello, Rosa.
How are you?
I'm
really good to see you here today.
Very happy, very honored to have you here. And you watched the video, what we did at that event that night in the gala. And there's someone here saying, muy bello evento, felicitaciones, beautiful event, congratulations. Yes, perhaps it's been an amazing event. And one of the things we love doing is to bring our sponsors and gather, their comments and what they are, who they are, why they sponsored the organization Canada Latina Pageants with this amazing event, and also all your work, because your work is amazing. And we're going to see through different things that we're going to show you today here in the show, about your experience, about all the things you do. And perhaps we're watching right now here in the video, the services and perhaps your website where people can go and get to know you and perhaps go to the Elite Cosmetic Clinic. So welcome. How are you feeling today being here in the show?
I'm feeling great. I'm actually pretty honored to be here today. I had such a great experience at the pageant. It was the first time that I have been contributing to such a beautiful cause. And at the same time, it was a great honor for me to meet all the contestants, everyone who was basically who made this event happen. I was so honored. I'm so happy I could attend.
Well, I remember the ladies going to your clinic, and we're going to see some other pictures about what they've done there. But perhaps let's talk about beauty tonight. It's all about beauty.
Yes.
And we're going to have this conversation between Spanish and English, okay? Just to give an insight to our Spanish community that's always supporting the show.
Absolutely.
So les quiero decir que Rosa está súper emocionada, muy agradecida por haber sido invitada sponsor con la organización Canada Latina Pageants. Ella precisamente es una educadora de la belleza. ¿Por qué? Porque es una mujer que trabaja directamente en la cosmética, pero trabajando para el bien de la belleza internacional. Así que espérense, vamos a escuchar un poco más de Rosa, y lo que ella nos puede comentar es que está muy feliz de haber sido patrocinador de nuestro evento, de las chicas, de todo el certamen de belleza que dimos con Canada Latina Pageants. Aquí estamos viendo fotos, diferentes fotos de estas personas que maravillosamente tuvieron la oportunidad, estas grandes candidatas, de llegar ahí a Elite Cosmetic Clinic. So how did you feel seeing these pictures and remembering that day?
Oh, it was such a great day. It was so much fun seeing the girls and getting to know them personally. Was pretty interesting because these young women come with so much ambition, so much dreams, and they want to pursue their dreams, and then they're exposed to all different aspects of beauty, cosmetic, and I was asking them about what they want to do in the future, what they see in their future, and everyone was just so confidently talking about what plans they had for themselves. And it was very refreshing to have all that young energy and all, that beauty background and all that confidence that they had. I was quite impressed by getting to know them. I didn't get to meet all of them, but I met quite a few of them, and it was an amazing day. I had such a great time. We danced a lot, obviously. We danced a lot in the clinic, and we had such a good time.
That's great. That's great. Let me ask you a question. How long you been doing this? Because you're a nurse, but then you added to the cosmetic, to the beauty of the women. How does it feel doing all the work that you have done through years? How many years you're doing this? Why you chosen to do this? That would be my question.
That's that's a very long answer. I'm just going to give you a shorter version of it. I was mainly focused on being more involved in the medical aspects of healthcare in general. And when I was exposed to the cosmetic field, I realized that, it is a way for everyone to express themselves, because beauty is nothing but expression of what you feel and you think is beautiful to you. So everyone has their own idea of beauty. Everyone has their own understanding of what beautiful is. And when I was introduced to the field, just as one of the many areas of nursing that I have experienced, just to find what I was looking for, and this is 12 years ago, I realized that this is something that I can incorporate knowledge, medical knowledge. I can incorporate art. I can incorporate my skills, my interpersonal skills, to be able to empower other women, to make them feel better about themselves, confident about themselves. And when women are confident, they can change the world. That's all I know.
I love that. I love it. When women is confident, can change the world. Wow.
Yes.
It's amazing. It is a reflection of who we are, right?
Exactly.
So listen, ladies. Listen, ladies.
Exactly. We can see the girls, all the participants at beauty pageant, every single one of them has definitely made a difference in their own community. And there will be a lot of young women looking up to them, because now beauty pageants have moved away from only being about beauty and the physics of it. It's about the brain. It's about the contribution. It's about holding hands of other women and empowering them and lifting them up. And, picking the root of beauty and cosmetic for me was one way for me to lift up other women and to help them out. And by teaching it, I'm also trying to contribute to this industry and, make women a big part of the decision making about their beauty as well.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. What challenges you see when a woman come to your clinic and they said, you know what, I would love to stop the aging?
Yes. One of the biggest challenges that I have is, especially right now, is the idea of beauty that social media is putting in people's heads. There are a lot of pictures out there that have been extremely touched up, photoshopped, filtered, and it creates that unrealistic idea about beauty in people, especially in our younger women, because they're always chasing that look, that standard of beauty that is not achievable. Some of those filtered pictures, they don't even look like human anymore. And those are the pictures that usually people come into the clinic with, and they ask me, can you make me look like that? And it's very, very challenging, but at the same time, it requires a lot of education for the clients, as well as people who are in the industry for beauty and cosmetics, whether it's makeup, hair, even for teeth beauty. You know, every aspect of beauty, you have to understand that there is a realistic goal and then there's an unrealistic goal. And the biggest challenge is to draw that line for people and make them understand that there's always limitation in how far you can go. And the other thing is the confidence of women. I mean, now we see that internationally women are making history, and it's a very beautiful thing. It's something that you know, coming from Middle East for me was a very big challenge. At the same time, being in a country where I can have a voice and I can have a platform where I can speak about women and beauty and empowerment and confidence. And the biggest challenge is that confidence problem that a lot of women have, because they think their voice don't matter. If they're not confident, again, no one will listen to them, because they're always in a lower background noise, and we want women to be at the front. We want them to be the fighters that they are, and they can fight for their own way of expression of beauty and glamour. That's all it's about.
Wow. I love what you just said. I'm just going to translate a resume in Spanish so our community can understand, because I think it's powerful what you just spoke. Rosa nos dice que realmente la belleza hoy en día es algo difícil, porque las personas tienden a hacer fotografía, a hacer que todo se vea perfecto detrás de una cámara, delante de una cámara, y realmente es irrealístico. Muchas veces una mujer puede llegar a su clínica y decirle, ¿sabes qué? Quiero que me conviertas en esta belleza. Y bueno, ella le tiene que decir, pero es que eso es una foto que tiene muchas capas, tiene muchos filtros, y realmente no es la realidad. Entonces, muchas veces vamos a tener que trabajar mucho en la confianza en sí misma de la mujer y su belleza. Y de eso se trata el trabajo de Rosa. Rosa actualiza a la mujer a que se vea en esa parte más íntima de su expresión en todo sentido. Dice que también la belleza incluso viene hasta por los dientes, ¿no? Que las personas quieren tener una sonrisa perfecta. Pero ¿cómo pueden tener todo eso si realmente hay muchos tabús? Y también hay muchas teorías de la belleza que hoy están practicándose y que realmente no se conocen. Así que vamos a hablar un poco más con ella. Quédate aquí, relájate, siéntete en casa. Mira, aquí estamos viendo todo acerca de Instagram, de su clínica, de la belleza y para lo demás, cómo ella está haciendo estos tratamientos. Porque es muy importante, ¿no? Yo por lo menos ya tengo mi edad, no estoy muy antigua, pero quiero también saber los trucos. Vamos a ver qué nos dice Rosa. So, Rosa, I love what we just spoke right now. We're watching. Hey, your channel on Instagram. I love it. I love it. I think beauty is so passionate. It's about how a person feels in the inner, in the inside, before they see in their eyes of other people and in front of the mirror. You see what I mean? Because I believe, from my perspective, maybe I get to your clinic, okay? And I said, Rosa, I have a little wrinkle here. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to have it perfect. I wanted to have my skin back. Well, we're seeing results here, right? Exactly. And I'm sure that there's women that they're just in a rush. Mm-hmm. Can you stop these people and tell them, listen, it's a process? What do you say to these women that come and they want to see the turnover in a day? Perhaps it doesn't happen that way, I'm sure. Let us know about this.
Absolutely. So One of the things that I always share with clients is that aging process is not a process that happens overnight. So reversing aging is not something that we can do overnight. Also, there's a lot of cases where we need to get to know the facial anatomy and how the face responds to the treatments over time. And if we do a lot at once just to reverse everything at the same time, there will be a lot of changes in the face that the person who is receiving the treatment and the people around them, they're not familiar with. So there will be an element of shock for them, and they will not like when they look in the mirror. Versus if we gradually improve one thing at a time. So for example, if you come to me and you ask me about the wrinkles around the eyes, and then you talk to me about the wrinkles between your eyebrows, and you want your lips a little fuller, and you want your cheeks a little fuller, then I will discuss with you and I will ask you what is the most important thing that when you see in the mirror is a problem. If you tell me it's the lines around the eyes, I will suggest that let's start with that. And we're trying to make you understand that we're not going to give you the looks that you had 20 years ago. It's not possible to reverse all aspects of aging because aging is not only in the skin. Aging starts from the bone and the muscle and the fat and the blood vessels and the blood flow and the hydration. There's a lot of contributing factors to aging, and we can always improve and restore some of youth, but it's always best recommended if you preserve it. And that's why we always recommend people to start sooner versus later. Start at younger age, start with using sunscreen to begin with, and then slowly you can prevent wrinkle formation, you can prevent sun damage, you can use good skincare before you even get to injections, and that way you can preserve your youth. And then from there, we can start and do corrective work instead of having to restore all of that beauty and youth that you had.
Wow, I love it because, suddenly we want the change, but we didn't realize that it was easier to prevent it than reverse it, right? And this is what you're really telling us. So
Exactly.
I'm going to say that in Spanish now so people can understand. Rosa habla acerca de la degeneración de la piel, ¿no? Cómo los tratamientos que ella hace con las mujeres, las personas llegan y dicen, ¿sabes qué? Cámbiame, conviérteme bella nuevamente o más joven, y todo tiene un proceso, ¿sí? No es una conversión de la noche a la mañana, como igual no pasó para que también tu piel se cayera o se transformara o cambiara en tu forma facial. Entonces, por tanto, es un proceso que lleva varias capas, varios tiempos para poder arreglarlo. También nos habla de que llegan mujeres que dicen, bueno, tengo algo en mis ojos, es lo primero que quiero que cambies. Entonces, bueno, se empieza a elaborar esa parte y después se va con lo otro que se podía transformar, ¿verdad? Dentro del aspecto facial de una mujer. Pero más sin embargo, hay que entender que no es acerca de revertirlo, sino es acerca de prevenirlo, que es muy importante. Por eso ella dice y recomienda que la mejor forma de prevenir un daño a la piel sería lo principal, ponernos, ¿verdad? Un protector solar en nuestra piel para que no haya degeneración tan rápido y que se conserve la piel como tal desde un momento y un principio que lo tuviste en muy buen aspecto. Bueno, I am so happy. I'm just learning more here, and more. I need to go to your clinic. I would love to do something there, that's for sure, because I always thought, thank you. I always thought about, what should I do, what not, you know? I'm in the middle. Maybe, I can just offer my chin, I don't know.
We can talk about everything that you want to do, and you tell me what are your goals, and we'll discuss, how we can reach them. No problem at all.
That's great. That's great. So through the years doing this and having your own aesthetic and helping people with the injection for, we have seen it with different Instagram shots that our production is showing, and perhaps aligning with your work. I know you're doing now the academy, you're teaching.
Yes.
How does it feel to be the teacher that for this young generation that are actually getting our school, or maybe they're in the process of having the school, and perhaps you, with your experience as a nurse and all that you have done so far, you tell them the best practices. What do you see in them as students that are coming ahead to do the same as you're doing now?
Yes. So teaching is the biggest passion that I have. I have always been a teacher. Even when I was a student, I was teaching all my classmates at the same time. I love teaching because when you teach someone, it's like you add a little feather to their wings. And all I want is to give people wings to fly and find their own ways. If I can be a tool for them to find their path, there's no other thing more gratifying than that. When I see students, male or female, it's really it's all about empowering everyone to find what is their dream and what their goal is. But I also I'm a little bit of a tough teacher because I want people to understand there could be complications that could affect someone's life for the rest of their life, and it's very important that they have the proper knowledge and they have the proper skills to go ahead with the treatment. And not everyone is built to do what this industry requires them to do. Not everyone has the stomach to do it. Not everyone is capable of working with the tools that we have, and that's okay. There's so many other things in the beauty industry that people can contribute to, can be a part of. But at the same time, when people come in very excited and they want to learn all about this industry, it gets me very excited because from one side, I feel that expressing beauty has become a lot more comfortable for everyone. I remember back in the day when I started injecting about 12 years ago, when people came in to do their treatments, they always wanted to keep it quiet. They always asked for the times where there's no one sitting in the waiting area. And it was such a hush, hush, quiet, nobody talked about it situation. But now everyone is so openly talking about it. Now everyone is so openly advertising, where they get their treatments done, how they get their treatments done. They talk to different injectors, different plastic surgeons even, and everybody shares that information, which is great because the more people know, the better they can decide for themselves. Sometimes people come in and they put all their trust into the hands of an injector or a beautician, and if they don't have the proper knowledge and skills, then they can do something that could permanently affect the client. And that is one thing that I want to make sure everybody understands what kind of power they have in their hands. And that's why teaching it is very, very important. We have clients coming into the room, and after I hand them the mirror after the procedure, they look at themselves and immediately they start crying because immediately they feel that boost of confidence, and they couldn't have had that feeling if they didn't know that they can use this technique, they can use this procedure to feel their best, to feel that confidence inside them that I am worthy, I am beautiful, I am confident, I have the self-esteem to now I can go out in the world and I can do whatever I want and I can achieve. And the same thing goes to men as well. I have so many male clients that back in the day they were so shy about they would very quietly or secretly ask me questions about Botox and fillers and other treatments. And now couples coming together, husbands and wives come together, partners come together. And I love that because as much as I care about myself and my beauty, my partner cares about their beauty as well. And it's beautiful. I love to see couples coming together and they comment about what they need and what they like. And, and some person says to their partner and they said, well, how last night you were looking at your eyes in the mirror. Why don't you talk to her about that? And it's so beautiful to see how they support each other into feeling good and feeling confident and feeling beautiful.
Wow. And just to impress, because to be honest with you, it is true. Before there were taboos, people were more like me doing something in my face and they will know and they will judge. And now everybody's like, open up, do whatever it is. I don't want aging. I just want to stop reversing, my problem and having that age stopped. Right. So
Exactly.
I think it's marvelous to see that couples together, as you said,
Oh,
they
yeah.
go and they treat themselves to feel beauty in their eyes, but I think it's more as of a relationship, you know? Well, if you're doing something
Absolutely.
good to you, why not me, right? Let's do it together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially with people who they don't feel comfortable to share some information with their partner about, or their wife or their husband about the procedures that they do. And now there is more of an open conversation about it. And it's very empowering, especially for male clients, because we always criticize them if they take care of themselves too much. We always give them a name, and it's not healthy for anyone. I mean, as much as we care about our beauty and our self confidence, our male partners have very similar needs. Especially for male, we have a lot of clients for hair restoration, and hair is a big confidence boost for a lot of men. And I am so happy that we can help so many men in the clinic. It's one of our busiest areas, hair restoration for men. And usually the conversation starts with their partners, a woman in their family comes to the clinic, and they usually ask questions for them, and then they come to the clinic and they get comfortable about it. And I'm so happy that now they are open. They talk about it. They bring their concerns, and then they start with one thing and slowly move to the other things, because beauty is what you see, and everyone's look at beauty is different. So we have everything for everyone for what they need.
I'm just so impressed seeing the differences between, time, perhaps the process that you do for reversing the aging,
Mhm.
and perhaps the dark circles and so on. And I'm just like, whoa, honestly, it does work. And I'm sure that you have to be rapidly, increasing your knowledge, acknowledging how really the beauty industry is changing, because perhaps what was, let's say, 2 years ago, maybe it's already upgraded today and it's easier or different or faster. How does it feel with that such a rapidly changes of
Mhm.
pharmaceuticals, about the teaching, perhaps
Mhm.
what you're doing now,
Yeah.
it's changing rapidly and you have to adjust yourself. How would you cope with this? Is that something you have to repeatedly and constantly studying, and perhaps
Absolutely.
adapting, yourself to the changes?
Absolutely. This industry, like any medical industry, is growing so fast. There's always new things coming out. There's a lot of movement away from very painful, very aggressive treatments into less aggressive treatments with less damage to the tissue. And there's always new technology coming out. One way for me to keep updated with all the new technology is to travel and attend all the seminars, and I get invited to a lot of them because I have been in this industry for a long time. I have been speaking at a lot of seminars globally. I have been to 26 countries, and I have been teaching and speaking in seminars, teaching doctors, surgeons, nurses. And I always say, as much as I'm an educator, I'm always a student as well. And every time I see another person injecting, or I talk to my colleagues, or I attend a seminar, there's always something new that I learn, and learning all of that is a very exciting journey. I actually love that I'm in an industry that there's no 2 days that are the same. There's always something new. There's always something different, and all that improvement that gives me more tools and more room to play with beauty and prevention of aging and making people feel better. It gives me that power and confidence to help other people be able to do it and also to receive it. So I'll be educating, and I'll be providing the services at the same time. And it's an ongoing running. It's a 24/7 job. I love it.
That's why I know you're too busy. And when I
Yes.
said I'm going to interview you, I said, because our shows are rapidly changing too. I said, oh, please, I'm sure I'm gonna get her, even though I give her show notice, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for being here.
Thank
It's
you.
been such a pleasure to listen all the information you're giving us in exclusive with our show. And I'm going to say that in Spanish because I think there's marvelous information here that people can benefit.
Yeah.
And perhaps, in Canada, being here, we have so many different cultures. I'm sure that you will have a way of, let's say, Hispanic women to go to your facility, and they will be able even to have a translator or being able to offer the service regardless of the different language that we may speak, right? Is that something that's possible, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We have even nurses that are injecting in the clinic, and they're from different backgrounds. Everybody speaks a different language. It's a pretty diverse environment, and I love working with all cultures, all backgrounds, and it's so interesting to learn about their beauty standards because it's so different from east to west. Everything is so different, and the requests are different, and the beauty standards are so different. So it gives me more field to play with, which is very exciting, very interesting. I love it.
Thank you. Bueno, amigos, tienen que entender esto que estamos hablando con nuestra amada Rosa de Elite Cosmetic Clinic. Ella es una entrenadora, ella es educadora, precisamente ha estado en muchísimas conferencias, ha estado rápidamente siempre en la vanguardia del óptimo crecimiento y educación acerca de la belleza y los beneficios y los tratamientos que se pueden utilizar con la mujer en la cosmetología. Por eso, ella tiene también su academia, donde ayuda a otros seres humanos a hacer cosmetología, por supuesto, tener la responsabilidad exacta de la información merecedora para que ellos puedan salir preparados. Porque ella está segura que cada persona que uno atiende, que ella atiende en su clínica o en cualquier clínica, con diferentes profesionales, tiene una responsabilidad porque puede cambiar tu vida por siempre, pero también puede difícilmente arruinar, diríamos nosotros, en el sentido de que si hay un mal tratamiento hecho, si no hay un buen tratamiento admisible y dado para el paciente, también puede traer consecuencias y no sean muy buenas. Así que es importante que ella como educadora, como entrenadora, como una mujer líder en la industria de la cosmetología y por supuesto de la belleza, esté alineada a los máximos y últimas capacitaciones necesarias para que se puedan implementar buenos procesos para todas las personas que llegan a su clínica y ella entrena. Así que esto es muy importante y lo que más decía ella es que la belleza de ayer no es la de hoy, porque cambia constantemente muy rápido. Entonces hay personas que se sienten con el poder y el derecho de hazme este tipo de tratamiento y ahora cómo lo puedes mejorar. Sí, por eso es tan importante que tú estés con un profesional como Rosa y su clínica, que realmente ofrezca un servicio que está con diferentes culturas, que tienen diferentes personas que hablan diferentes lenguas, para que tú que llegues ahí tengas toda la información precisa, así no hables inglés o hables algún otro idioma. Wow, this has been such a marvelous interview because honestly, to tell you, when we think about beauty, people perhaps think about we have to have the perfect body, we have to have such a look to say we're beautiful, but inside, there's a lot of depression in our communities,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And how do you feel when people come to you and say a word, I'm ugly? Or maybe they said to themselves, I just don't know how to really feel great. Because I'm sure that you can do something with your amazing work, perhaps from the outside. But if the person doesn't change the mindset, if they don't change the way of eating or their habits, how will you cope with these people that repeatedly come and say, this is not working? It's a challenge these days. How would you say that?
You're right. And I'm so happy you brought this up, actually. I deal with this almost every day. And usually people laugh at me and they tell me, it feels like I had a therapy session with you instead of a beauty session. I'm a big advocate of natural beauty in general. I love that everyone is different. I don't like when everyone looks the same. I don't like that everyone follows the same trend. That uniqueness of beauty in everyone is what makes things beautiful and diverse and different. One of the biggest issues that I have with people who come to the clinic is the way they use the language to describe themselves. And immediately the first thing I tell them, I'm like, instead of saying, I hate this is ugly, change the language and say, I like this, but I like to improve it. When you change the language, the way you talk about yourself and about your body, and your body listens to you, then your body will work with you better. And I always use this example for people who keep talking, and even when I give them compliments, especially us women, we're not very good at taking compliments very well. When I tell people, you know what, you look great for your age, you have great skin, your skin is still holding most of its collagen, or your facial volume is still there, and people are like, oh, you just say that to everyone. Meanwhile, I feel it's very important for us to learn how to receive compliments and let it actually sit, because there's no reason for someone to randomly compliment you without, not meaning it. So we need to learn, instead of saying, oh no, you're just saying that, instead of that, I always tell people, receive the compliment and maybe say thank you. You know what, I feel great. Yeah, thank you. That I like that I have these features in my face, and I like that my hair is like this, and I like that my eyes and my eyebrows are like this. And the other thing I always tell people is that yes, beauty is important. We do express ourselves through beauty, but at the same time, you could be the most beautiful person in the world and not feel slightly beautiful. So what you said was right. It's all about inside. It's all about how you feel about yourself, and the way you talk about yourself is the way you, when you look in the mirror, the first thing you should say is, you know what, thank you, body, for working so great. Thank you for doing the function you're made to do. And if I can improve you, I will improve you. If I can improve the physics, I will improve it. If I can improve the hair, I'll improve it. If I can improve the face, the skin, because a lot of changes in our body is not necessarily from aging and genetics. It could be from our lifestyle. It could be from our sleep pattern, our water drinking, our diet. So a lot of those things you can improve. And once you start taking care of your body, then everything will start showing differently. You are going to notice that your body responds back to you when you take care of it. I always recommend my clients, I always tell them a little homework to take home. And I say, you know what, go in front of the mirror, and for 10 days, every day stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, I think you're beautiful. I think you're perfect the way you are. You are so unique, and this face and this body and everything is functioning the best way that it can. It's functioning beautifully. It's serving the purpose. And I'm going to take care of it, and I'm going to make sure that I make the best decisions for it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have this body for the rest of your life, and you want to make sure you're happy with it. Because if you're constantly mad at your physics, you're constantly going to be mad. You're going to have this body for the rest of your life. So give yourself some love. Love it. Love everything that you have. All of those imperfections are unique to you. You own them. Those are yours. Own them. And if you can improve them, there's so many things out there that you can try, and you can get educated about and make the best decision based on proper education, not Google research. Talk to the right people.
I love it. I love it. I'm so pleased, so thankful to have you here to let us know about this, because I think gratitude of all things that you have, regardless and how it is, how it will be, and how it's now, you know, makes such a difference, right? When the person is having that gratitude of living, of having such a beautiful life, regardless of the problem. And now you can improve. Yes, certainly, because we have elite cosmetic.
Yeah.
For sure you can improve. And that's certainly good, because, you need to feel amazing in all aspects. But I think it's really important for people these days to look at other side of the mirror, what's in deep inside, because depression is something that's being held in all over the world. We see people dying for no reasons other than what they thought, they believe in them, and maybe there was only one person that could have come and kiss them, hug them, tell them how special they are. And that could have been such a difference for them to still be living. So I know it's a little bit sad of talking about this, but I think it's important because perhaps, we bring in a specialist in the cosmetic industry, in the nursing, and with all aspect of, regardless of any problems of the human being, who teaches you right now today, love yourself first in order to love what is inside and the outside. And I think it's important because that teaches and show the care that you have for the patients, right? Because it's how beautiful will be, you come to a place where they serve you, they tell you what good things you can get, but also mentor you and get out and be inspired to change things that you can do on your own.
You're right. And this is a conversation that is lacking a lot in the beauty industry. And I'm pretty sure you see it when you're talking with the girls that are participating in beauty pageants, because everyone immediately associates beauty pageants with just the appearance versus everything we do is so that we can feel better and confident about ourselves. And then we can have a voice about what we feel and how we can make a difference in the world, right? One of the biggest concerns in the world, like you said, is depression. And you cannot separate these conversations from each other. You cannot say, okay, appearance is appearance, the inside is inside. There's always intertwined. It's very important that these conversations are happening together. I get this comment a lot that people say, oh, you're a nurse, but you're only a beauty nurse. And I say, but I get more tears in the room than, because I have done every different, so many different aspects of nursing. I have done labor and delivery. I have done cardiology. I have done, every parts of nursing. I have touched every part of it just to find where I feel more comfortable. And I had people who empowered me, and I had people who supported me. And I think one of the biggest conversation about this whole beauty is also knowing that having somebody else's beauty does not take away from yours. So if I see someone beautiful, I just shower them in compliments, because I feel if I don't express myself, then I will just hold something inside me that is pointless. I like to tell women, I like to tell everyone that, they look great and their hair is wonderful and their, face shape is perfect and they have this unique, figure and they have this unique mentality. And I love giving compliments to women. And like I said, it's very surprising to me that we don't know how to take compliments. And I wish we had this conversation more about, you can talk about other people's beauty as well. It's not always about you and yourself. I feel a big part of empowering everyone is to know that you are perfect the way you are. You are as beautiful as you think you are, because you project that to other people. If I come to you and I constantly tell you about everything that is wrong with me, you are going to automatically see me as a different person. Versus if I come to you and I say, oh, I just did my hair and I did my Botox and, my wrinkles are gone and I feel great. And then you will be like, you know what? Yeah, you do look great. I really like that hairstyle on you. I really like that, lip change for you. I really like everything you're doing for yourself. And the fact that you feel so vibrant, you send that energy out to people and people receive it. It's your body language. 80% of your communication is body language. And if you don't have that confidence, you can never fake it. So from the inside to the outside, and it's all together. You cannot separate the two. Absolutely not.
Wow. This has been such a great conversation. I've really enjoyed it.
These are really good questions, I must tell you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome anytime. We have another show called Breakthrough. It's from a book that I wrote, and we do it on Saturdays, and I'm going to have you there. We'll talk about other things, because I think you have such a marvelous things to teach us. Perhaps being a nurse, at service, I always wonder how people can be so stressed with other people's life of their health, because it's not simple. People get to let's say, to the hospital saying, I'm gonna die, and it's in your responsibility, in your hands, such a great and powerful work that you're doing. So now it's not any way different, because in your clinic, I'm sure there's people coming, perhaps to elevate their beauty and their inner self, and perhaps their stigma, and then they come, all change, and perhaps thinking a much more positive way. So I think it's marvelous to really find people that really care, because that's what's the most important. It's not about how the money is going to be given, because perhaps money comes and go, but when they come to you, you're there for them, and I feel it. I feel it with all my heart. So
and just every single person is so important. Everybody has something to offer. Everybody has something to share. And I hear people's stories in the room, because I have at least about an hour with each person, and everybody comes back after a while. So I get to learn their stories as we go in time, and then I learn about all these amazing stories that people have, and nobody shares these stories so much. Everyone is just so concerned about what they need to do, and then you just go a little deeper into their personal life, and you talk about their children, you talk about their grandchildren, you talk about their all these immigrants that came to this country, and everyone has such beautiful stories, such beautiful backgrounds, such beautiful cultural values that they share, and they talk to you. And I think it's so beautiful that we can have that space where people can talk, and they can share, and they can be vulnerable, because talking about insecurities is a very vulnerable thing to do. Me coming to you and telling you what I feel is wrong with me, first of all, takes courage. So I find everyone is very brave I always tell people, it's very brave that you're sitting on this chair, because not only you're going to be talking about the things that you don't like and you want to change and you're vulnerable about, but also these procedures are going to be, somewhat uncomfortable, or they're going to take time, and you have to be patient, and you're willing to walk that path. It takes bravery, if you ask me.
For sure. I'm thinking about, I'm gonna go and get my pre-call out. Oh my God.
And I try to make it as comfortable for everyone as I can, because it is something that really makes people nervous too. Having to do something with their faces, and they don't know what the outcome is, and they don't know what to expect, and they don't know how to take care of it, how to manage it. So it takes a lot of time. For most of the appointment time actually goes into talking about what the goal is, and then what to do after, and all about education and how things are going to work for them. So it's important to take the time with the client as well. I mean, I can have 20 clients per day, or I can have 5 clients per day. It's the quality of the treatment and the time that I spend with them that is important to me.
Thank you so much. This has been amazing. All I can say is that we hope we keep you as a sponsor for Cara Latina Pageants for next year. Yes.
It has been a great experience. I've never had this experience. When I was a child, because I was growing up in a country where beauty was not celebrated for women so much.
Wow.
And I always dreamt of walking on the stage with all these beautiful queens that, they own the stage and they have that confidence. And I've always dreamt as a little kid to be someday somehow involved in something that has something to do with beauty pageants. And when I was approached, I was through the moon. I was so happy that I could at least have a level of experience, and I got to know everyone, and I got to know the process of everything a little bit better. And it takes so much time and energy and effort that I didn't know it takes.
I love the judges. I love the judges, and you were one of them. So it was amazing. Yeah. You're there, putting your punctuation and you know, how much they did and how much effort they really did.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly,
The hard work they put into it, all those participants. Oh my
Yes.
God, these women. I think they have been working so hard for weeks to be prepared for the show, and um, for us to be able to judge them, we had to, follow criteria, which was very interesting to learn about that as well. And I personally think it takes a lot of confidence, a lot of courage for these women, young women too, to walk on the stage in all different outfits and show their confidence, show their beauty and their movement and all that delicacy of that feminine energy. I just loved it. I enjoyed every second of it, and I think this will be a great memory for all the participants as well, as much as it was for us as judges too.
Thank you so much. Bueno, amigos, ya escucharon toda esta conversación en inglés. Realmente ha sido un honor para nosotros tener aquí a Rosa Heshmati, quien es, por supuesto, fundadora de Elite Cosmetic Clinic. Ha hablado de cómo realmente su mayor tiempo de preparación para que cada persona que llegue precisamente ahí a hacerse su tratamiento esté totalmente informado, sea educado de lo que va a recibir. Y más aún que se entienda que la belleza siempre viene desde adentro, que hay que tener hábitos también para que esta belleza se complemente con cualquier tratamiento que ella hace, por supuesto, por medio de su clínica. Nosotros recomendamos 100% a nuestra amada Rosa Heshmati with Elite Cosmetic Clinic. Y si tú eres una persona que estás pensando que quiere ser parte, como ella lo ha hecho, de crear de la industria de la belleza, precisamente cometología, tratamiento, llegar a ser nurse o tantas cosas que se pueden hacer, recuerda, ella también tiene una academia donde te puede entrenar y puede darte toda esta información específica para que llegues a ser un gran profesional. Para mí, Rosa ha estado aquí dando su amor, su pasión, transmitiendo realmente el poder que tiene la mujer en transformación debido a su belleza. Así que gracias, Dori. Thank you, Doris, for being here. She's always a fan to us. And it's been such a pleasure to have you. Where we can find you? I know Instagram, Elite Cosmetic Clinic. How would we find you in social media, please?
Yes. So we have a website, elitecosmeticclinic.com, that we have all the information about all the services we provide. We provide both cosmetic services and some of the medical services that we can use the cosmetic procedures for example, migraine headaches, excessive sweating, hair loss. These are things that are more medical, and we are treating them as well. And also on Instagram, we have Elite Cosmetic Clinic on our Instagram. All the nurses have their own Instagram pages as well. So whoever wants to ask questions, do a quick consultation with any of the nurses, they're available to do consultations. We have 4 amazing nurses in the clinic. Everyone is, they have so much to offer, and everyone is so well trained and very knowledgeable about what they're doing. And if they have any questions, they can always email us at info@elitecosmeticclinic.com, or they can message us on Instagram, Elite Cosmetic Clinic. We also have our phone number and multiple ways that they can reach us. Even on the website, you can contact us directly through the website. And we're always available to answer all the questions and, if possible, meet people in person for a in-person consultation.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, this is the power of having a show like this, and perhaps with the founder, the person who's really there for you, Rosa Heshmati. So it's been such an honor, and perhaps we have to thank our social media and our channels right now that's being transmitted in this amazing show. These are Frequency 5 FM, Al Día Media, Impacto FM Stereo, Universo Radios, perhaps Breakthrough Rose Production. You can find them in all podcasts, in Spotify, Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, you name it. So this amazing show today with Rosa, you cannot miss. You will always be able to retrieve it and hear about her and all the procedures they do at Elite Cosmetic Clinic. Thank you, Rosa.
Thank
We
you.
see you
Thank you so much
soon.
for having me.
No, it's been such a pleasure. And our production has a finish and end video that we will see perhaps about the beauty pageants. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Bye,
you.
Rosa.
Thank
Take
you.
care. We see each other soon. Thank
See
you, guys.
soon. Have a good one.